Hello, beautiful people. Did you know there are different types of body fat? Most people think that fat is the same around the body. They assume all fat is bad and want to lose it in any way they can. But all fat isn't bad. There are several types of body fat, and some types, namely brown or beige fat, are actually good for you. Here are 12 things you need to know about body fat. 1. Fat is important. Even though people tend to demonize fat, the stuff delivers some important health benefits. For starters, it cushions and protects your vital organs, including the kidneys, and helps keeps us warm. Fat also prevents us from starving because it acts as an energy reserve. It's unfortunate that we have such a pervasive antipathy about fat, as it's a normal and important part of the body. Says Scott Kahan, MD, the director of the National Center for Weight and Wellness in Washington, D.C. If you want to lose weight fast, check my #1 recommendation in the first link in the video description. 2. Not all types of fat are the same. The most abundant type of body fat is white fat, explains Dr. Kahan. This is the type of fat we feel when we pinch an inch on our midsection. Its primary function is to store excess energy for later use, he explains. If you go on a diet or, for some reason, don't have access to food, your body will take some stored energy from these adipose tissue cells to fuel the body. This fat literally sustained our ancestors when hunting and gathering were the only ways to eat, and scarcity was common. 3. Fat cells have jobs. In addition to energy storage, white fat cells produce certain hormones, like leptin and adiponectin, Dr. Kahan says. Adiponectin improves the body's sensitivity to insulin, which protects against type 2 diabetes, according to the Society for Endocrinology. Leptin is the hormone that tells you to stop eating when you are full, which helps maintain a normal weight. 4. The fat on your butt is healthier than the fat on your belly. It's probably safe to say that no woman favors the fat on one body part over another, but it's actually safer health-wise to be more of a pear than an apple. Belly fat, also known as visceral fat, is much more responsive to the stress hormone cortisol compared to the fat on your thighs or butt, so when stress hits hard, any extra calories consumed are more likely to end up around your middle. Belly fat is also much more inflammatory than fat located elsewhere in the body and can create its own inflammatory chemicals, as a tumor would. These chemicals travel to the brain and make you hungry and tired, so you're more likely to overeat or eat junk food and not exercise, thus creating a vicious cycle and perpetuating the storage of more belly fat. The good news is that anything that helps you reduce inflammation helps reduce those signals to the brain. 5. First you burn calories, second you burn fat. The term, fat burning, is thrown around willy-nilly in fitness circles, but as an expression of weight loss, it's indirect. Before you burn fat, you burn calories, whether those calories come from stored carbohydrates or from stored body fat. The more calories you burn during each workout, the bigger deficit you will create and the more fat you will lose. You can also create a calorie deficit by eating less. The trick, though, is time, since it's hard for most people to put in the time needed to burn enough calories to make a weight loss dent. Experts advocates high-intensity interval training to burn as many calories as possible in as short amount of time as possible. This method, which alternates between hard, easy efforts, can burn double the calories in the same amount of time spent exercising in a steady state. 6. Fat comes in different colors. More specifically, there are different types of fat that have different hues and functions: white, brown, and beige. The white fat is what most people think of as fat, pale and useless. Useless in that it has a low metabolic rate, so it doesn't help you burn any calories the way muscle does. And it's the predominant type of fat in the human body, encompassing more than 90% of it. In other words, it's a storage unit for extra calories. Brown fat is darker in color due to a rich blood supply and can actually burn calories. Rather than storing them, but only if you're a rat. Certain critters can activate brown fat to burn calories and generate heat to keep them warm in winter. Humans, sadly, have so little brown fat that it won't help you burn calories or keep you warm. The third type of fat, beige fat, is in between white and brown in terms of its calorie-burning ability, which is actually very exciting. Why? Because researchers are looking into ways to shift white fat cells into more metabolically active beige ones via diet and exercise or supplements. In fact, there is preliminary evidence that certain hormones which are activated by exercise may convert white fat cells into beige ones, as well as some evidence that certain foods such as brown seaweed, licorice root, and hot peppers may have the ability to do this as well. 7. Coffee may boost brown fat. Drinking a cup of coffee can stimulate brown fat, a 2019 study in Scientific Reports suggests. The researchers used a thermal imaging technique to trace the body's brown fat reserves, and found that it got hotter after participants drank a cup of coffee. This isn't coffee's only health benefit. 8. Brown fat may ward off type 2 diabetes. Brown fat keeps blood sugar levels in check, according to a 2016 study in Cell Metabolism. When researchers measured brown fat and glucose, they found that individuals with more brown fat had smaller fluctuations in blood sugar. High blood sugar levels travel with diabetes. 8. Body fat is linked to depression. If you are carrying around slightly more than 22 pounds of excess body fat, you may be more likely to be depressed, and the more extra weight, the greater your risk for depression. This is the main conclusion of a study by researchers from Aarhus University and Aarhus University Hospital in Denmark. It doesn't matter where the extra fat is parked either. While they don't understand exactly how excess body fat is linked to depression, the researchers suspect the link may be the psychological consequences of obesity, things like negative body image and low self-esteem. 9. Body fat can affect brain health. Researchers are finding that body fat around your abdomen may be linked to reduced amounts of gray matter in your brain, according to a study in Neurology. Specifically, people with higher body mass indexes and higher waist-to-hip ratios had less gray matter, the material in the brain that helps process new information, compared to their leaner counterparts. But the study authors can't say whether body fat is the cause of these changes in the brain, or a result of them. 10. Even skinny people can have cellulite. The dreaded C word is caused by fat trapped under the skin. The overlying skin dimples are created by connective tissues that tie the skin to the underlying muscle, with fat trapped in between like a sandwich. You don't need a lot of fat to cause a dimpling effect, so you can be in great shape and have low body fat but still have a little pocket of dimpled fat. For example, on your butt or the backs of your thighs. Building muscle while losing fat can help minimize the appearance of cellulite. Don't forget to check the first link in the video description, if you want to lose weight fast. 11. Fat cells can freeze to death. Fat cells are more sensitive to cold than muscle and skin cells. When external cooling devices are applied to the skin, they cause a process known as cryolipolysis, which permanently kills that fat cells right below the skin. The body removes these damaged cells over a 2-month period, and the fat doesn't come back. 12. Fat cells can melt away too. Heat can also be used to permanently eliminate fat cells, says Dr. Chappas. Several in vitro studies have shown that heating fat cells above 40 degrees Celsius (104 F) for a sustained amount of time can cause the fat cells to undergo programmed cell death, she explains. Heat can be generated from radio frequency devices or laser sources. These damaged fat cells are eliminated from the body, she says. Liposuction can also get rid of fat cells permanently. Thanks for watching today's video. Did you learn anything new today? If you find this video helpful, give me a big thumbs up. Please, don't forget to comment and subscribe for more videos. Bye and see you in the next video.